Communication is not what you say, it is what others understand. Have you ever noticed after you completed a meeting where everybody nodded and later you discovered that everyone understood something which is different what was discussed? You thought the work had been assigned, your colleague thought it was only a suggestion. You thought the deadline was Friday. When you checked, you find your team thought work would begin only on Friday. You thought the client has agreed, but checked later, you find the client thought the matter was still under discussion. Words were exchanged. People smiled. The meeting ended, but the real communication never happened. Today's story, A Horse and Two Goats by R.K. Narayan, is a humorous example of complete misunderstanding, and it teaches a very powerful leadership lesson. Communication is not what you say, the communication is what the other person understands. Hi, I'm Janardhan Kaur, your Fulfilled Career Growth Coach. Through my Khema Yoga method, I help mid-career professionals achieve consistent career growth with fulfillment. Khema gives us patience, whereas it also gives awareness and emotional balance, whereas yoga adds communication, listening, collaboration, and leadership skills. Today's story shows why speaking confidently is not enough. A leader must also confirm whether it is understood or not. The story goes like this. The story takes place in a small South Indian village called Malgudi. An elderly man named Muni lives there with his wife. Once he owned many animals, but his fortune have declined, and now he has only two goats. Every day he takes them to graze near the highway. Close to that place stands a large clay statue of a horse and a warrior. The statue is old and connected with local tradition. One day, an American tourist arrives in a car. He notices the impressive horse statue and becomes fascinated by it. He wants to buy it and take it home. He approaches Muni and begins speaking in English, but Muni understands only Tamil. Muni responds in Tamil. The American does not understand him either. Still, both continue talking. The American speaks about the statue. Muni speaks about village life, his goats, and Indian mythology, and all that. Each man assumes that the other has understood something. The American asks how much Muni wants for the horse statue. Muni sees him pointing and offering money. He believes the foreigner wants to buy his two goats which are near to him. The tourist offers a large sum of money. Muni happily accepts it. He walks home, believing he has sold the goats. The American believed he has purchased the horse statue. Both men leave the conversation satisfied, but they have agreed to completely different transactions. Later, Muni's goats return home. His wife becomes suspicious about Muni having money, yet the goats are still there. Meanwhile, the American takes away the statue, believing he has completed a legitimate purchase. Both men spoke at length, neither truly understood the other. Here is mid-career problem, how it is connected to the story. The story is funny because the misunderstanding is so obvious to us, but similar situations occurs every day in organizations. Let us see. People use the same words but attach different meanings to them. A senior leader says, complete it soon. Does that soon means today, this week, or this month? The manager says, take ownership. Does that mean make the decision or only prepare a recommendation? A team member says, I will try. Does that mean commitment or uncertainty? A client says, this looks fine. Does that mean final approval or polite acknowledgement? Miscommunication becomes more serious in diverse workplaces. People may come from different languages, departments, generations, professions, regions, and cultures, and levels of authorities. Therefore, good communication requires more than vocabulary. It requires curiosity, listening, and confirmation. Let us understand this in my 6 KYM lessons from the story. 6 KYM lessons like this. Step number one, do not enter a conversation assuming that the other person sees the situation exactly as you say or do. Ask, are you understanding this? What does this mean from your perspective? What outcome are you expecting? Curiosity opens communication and assumption always closes it. Step number two, use simple language. Senior professionals often use complex language to sound knowledgeable, but complicated language may hide unclear thinking. Use short sentences, avoid unnecessary jargons, give concrete examples, replace please expedite the process with please complete the report by 4 p.m. on Thursday. Clarity is not a sign of limited intelligence, it is a sign of disciplined thinking. Step number three, listen for meaning. Listening is not waiting for your turn to speak. Listen for what the person is trying to communicate. Observe their words, focus their tone, their questions, their hesitation. Sometimes a person says yes because they're afraid to disagree. Sometimes silence means confusion, not agreement. Listen beneath the words. Step number four, Confirm understanding. Before ending an important conversation, always ask, could you tell me what you understood? Or ask, let me summarize what we have agreed. Confirm who will do what, by when, with what authority, what result is expected, what happens next. This simple step can prevent days of rework and conflict. Step number five, adapt to the other person's. Do not communicate only in the style that is comfortable to you. Adapt to the listener. A technical expert may need details. A senior leader may need the main decision and risk. A new employee may need step-by-step guidance. A customer may need simple language and reassurance. Effective communication begins where the listener is not where the speaker prefers to stand. Now, the last step, the sixth step, create written agreement. Alignment that important discussions, record the agreement, send a short email or message. This is what we agreed. These are the responsibility. This is the deadline. These are the next steps. Written clearly is especially important in high stakes situations. Memory is selective. Assumptions may change. A simple written summary protect relationships and results. And let us have a KYM connection to story. The story reflects the balance of KYM. Khema gives the calmness to listen without impatience. It gives us humility to admit. Perhaps I have not understood. Yoga are the skills of questioning, simplifying, confirming, and documenting. Without Khema, communication becomes ego driven, and without yoga, good intention may still create confusion. A fulfilled leader communicates with both respect and precision. Here is my conclusion. What does a horse and two goats teach us? Two people can speak for a long time without communicating. Smiles do not always mean agreement, silence doesn't always mean understanding, and a completed conversation does not always mean a shared decision. Before our next meeting ends, always ask one simple question. Are we all understanding this in the same way? Are we in the same page? That question may save hours of rework, resentment, and confusion. Good communication is not measured by how impressively you speak. It is measured by the clarity created in the listener's mind. Here is my call to action. In your next important conversation, practice this simple method. Explain, ask, listen, confirm, document. Then observe how much confusion disappears. In the comments, tell me which creates more workplace problems, a poor speaking or poor listening. And if you are a mid-career professional who wants to improve leadership communication, confidence, and influence, join my group and come to my free webinar, Executive Lead Career Rise. There, I will help you protect your inner resources and add the skills required for consistent career growth with fulfillment through my Khema Yoga method. The links are given in the description. Always remember, do not speak merely to be heard, speak to be understood, listen to understand, and confirm before you conclude. Thank you.